Welcome to the show both feared and revered by man and beast, the Helios blog. Today, Jon Zherka exposes MrBeast's secret to success. This should totally be good and not at all be a shill.
The reason she's alone is because she's difficult.
Women are not accepting the bare minimum.
Women fuck men they respect.
All the women who say things like, I'm strong, independent, I don't need no man, like, y'all impress me.
Women just gaslight each other and say what they want to hear.
That state, I get it, you're frozen, but this is going to sound so gay. And there's so many people who have taken a photo with me in public and have seen me do this. You need a ritualistic walk to kill brain fog. And I mean like a 2-hour walk a day. Music or no music, at the end of the walk, your thoughts start flowing again. Do not think you could just stay at home, bro. I don't care if it's snowing outside, you need that walk. There's something, it cannot be a workout. Workout something else. Because workout sometimes can make you like, you go there to kill brain fog and you get way too exhausted. And I'm saying it has to be oxidative pathway, a cardio kind of remedy. Because especially in alchemy, the more you heat something up in degrees, the more you can change its state.
This is crap. Okay, well, let's talk science. Heating and cooling do not cause chemical reactions. Well, that's not true. If you heat something very highly, certain chemicals will break down. They'll undergo decomposition, right, into two pieces. But normally, heating and cooling just causes state changes, which are not chemical changes. So this guy is just spewing crap. Again, I think I understand what Zherka's thing is. I think I understand now. It's like scams. You know, like the scam emails where they have like phishing emails and stuff where they have spelling mistakes on purpose. The point is, only the most stupid would believe. And he's screening for smart people to avoid, right? He's saying more and more dumb crap because only the stupidest would believe and spend money. And you know what they say? There is an expression, famous expression, and it goes like this: a fool and his money are soon parted. I mean, what more needs to be said?
That means, yeah, you have to sweat on that walk. This is what alchemy is. If you go for a 2-hour walk, hike, when you're sweating, you're heating up the organism, you're changing states. The brain fog starts leaving, and if you don't have an answer at the end of that walk, you didn't linger in the feeling enough. So when I go on a walk, I go, all right, I'm a millionaire.
You know, how MrBeast comes up with ideas too.
Really?
Yeah, he goes on every morning. He goes on a walk.
Yeah, man, these are ancient practices.
Every morning he goes on a walk. He
Pythagoras
listens to an
talked about
audiobook.
this shit.
Audiobooks and walks like first thing in the morning.
Yeah, I'll do an hour audiobook and then 2 hours because I just love music and stuff. But if in my
Wait, what? Why is he bleeping out Sneako's face? You can tell who it is by his tattoos.
walk, I don't feel laughing next to me, telling me how much money we're making. If that image is not there and it's just me, immediately I start panicking. Which you're not supposed to, but you're supposed to have that walk like it's the good news walk. Your mom FaceTime you, everyone's healthy, telling you you're making a lot of money, stuff like that. That's how you want to have, that's the seeds you want to water, and look for the emotion. So if I have that visualization with giving me the good news, but there's no emotion, you're not watering the seed. It's just a dead seed. But if
I want to know why Sneako's bleeped out of this.
there's emotion, which is so easy to have, if Myron or texts me, it's like a jump in your life changed with these guys, hang around these cats. There has to be emotion there. And I'm telling you, a walk's more important than a workout. A walk's more important than your career. A walk's more important, bro. I'm telling you.
I'm gonna go on a walk tomorrow.
I go to walks in the middle of the night too, but it's the day walks really. Because, bro, I'm telling you, if you are depressed, the workout does help depression, but there.
Actually, walks do help with You know what is known to be extremely calming for human beings in general is walking in nature, going on a hike. That's extremely relaxing. And especially if you do it by yourself during the day, it really is a good choice for an activity. Great for cardio, and it will actually make you feel better. But this alchemy crap that he's describing, yeah, that's obvious bullshit. Again, take what works and discard the rest. That's the scientific method, and he's just trying to sell you something.
There's this walk. It's called the daydream walk. We call it day gazing in my internal server. So day gazing is I don't know if you're familiar with Neville Goddard.
No.
He's the one who broke down an esoteric part of the Bible of. He goes a little far, but he pretty much says you can pretty much teleport to different places with your imagination. He goes far with it, but
yeah,
man, I'm telling you guys, like,
yeah, you can. That's totally possible. By the way, just a suggestion. You can try it yourself. But what I find is I get my best ideas in liminal places. So like, when I say liminal, I mean when you're traveling between places. You know, when you're in the car, or you know, you're walking by yourself in nature, or you know, you're not really doing anything. You're just kind of letting your mind wander. That's where I find I get my best ideas. So you can try it yourself as well. Just do more liminal activities in the shower, whatever, like these sort of things. If you're go with no travel time in between, there's not actually a lot of time to think, and if you don't have a lot of time to think, your imagination can't help you to solve problems. Also, getting a good night's sleep will also help with your imagination. Sleep is very important for recovery, right? So you need it.
the walk is ritualistic, right? So before I go on a date with a girl, I'll go on a walk and imagine her laughing at all my jokes, and then on the date, it literally starts happening. The same jokes.
You did that on your Fresh and Fit, the best podcast, right?
Oh, in Fresh and Fit, I'd sit in my room in a hotel for hours, and Myron would be laughing. And then I'd be like, oh, wait, I don't see Myron laughing. I would pace around my hotel till I'm sweaty. Still, I don't see Myron. Put music on. On the shit. Oh, Myron laughed. Oh, Myron likes this egotistical Zherka. And then I'll just be drenched in sweat. And I'll go on a walk for 3 to almost 5 hours to really crack myself. And as soon as I'm at the peak of exhaustion, I used to crack an Adderall and Red Bull and sit down exhausted. And my brain would go, dude, you can't not talk right now. And Myron would go, Zherka, are you ready? And then my brain would go, second wind. And I get this second wind, and I'd go so much harder, and I'd be so afraid of losing it. I wouldn't even let anyone else speak.
But you were really on a roll, though. What you're saying is true.
Yeah, and now look at my appearances with Myron's last one, that I don't do that whole practice. It's kind of flat.
There was a moment I was like finished my stream, and I was bored, and I turned on Fresh Fit, you're on. And I was watching it, and I was a little bit jealous because I'm like, because we used to go on together, and then you went on and I was watching it, and I was like, bro, this is, and I was just laughing. Like, I never, like, freshman, I do it all the time. And we're seeing you, like, boom, like, every single time you talk, the whole room, it was like stand-up comedy.
Yeah, but
that's the point, right? That's what he's going for. He's trying to be that guy that, anyway.
But if I was to go on tomorrow, I could not do that,
yeah.
What I did last year. That last year took 3 to 5 hour preparation every day, right? And I still remember Icy and them. They would see me, they'd be like, bro, Fresh would run into me. He's like, dude, you're still on your walk? Bro, you're going to be late for the podcast. It's been 5 hours. And Fresh would pick me up in his truck, bring me to the podcast. I'm like, no, I've got to go shower and stuff. So, yeah, I'm telling you, at the peak of exhaustion, there's a theta state, brainwave state. So we're genius.
Again, guys, like, if you let yourself be sold snake oil's what you're gonna be sold, right? Like, I don't know what else to tell you. Like, 99% of life is just showing up, right? Like, how do you become good at something? You just show up, even if you're not feeling strong, even if you're not feeling good, even if you don't really want to do it, you just do it consistently, and you get good eventually, right? You don't need this crap. You know, it's like those people that need motivational speakers, you know, to get going. You don't need motivation. What you need is grit. You need to go, you know what? I'm gonna go do this, even though I don't want to, and come what may. That's really what it's about.
This is in between the solar and lunar consciousness. It's in between. When right gazing, falling right into sleep, you know that mode?
Right now.
That's That mode is genius state. It's flow state.
Sleep deprivation.
Right? Also, another thing, bro, if you're ever reading a book and you're reading it when you're half asleep, you will dominate that book. If you've done the book conscious, unconscious sleeping, and in between is that theta state. This is the most important thing. Tesla talked about it. Einstein talked about it. Einstein had this interesting practice.
Yes, just name drop famous people and don't at all say real things. Just say random crap and name drop. Did you know, guys, that Einstein did what I did and he crap talked YouTube videos? Yeah, he was a genius and he did it, so you should do it too. My lord, man.
That when he gets sleepy, he'd hover over a table and wait until his pencil dropped. And the pencil would wake him up when it dropped, and then he'd write his genius idea. In between this unconscious and conscious state is genius levels of activity. I can't reach it like Einstein. I can't reach it at a table. That's why I do 4-hour hikes, and they cannot be lifting weights. It has to be full-on exhaustion in a fasted state, so you're in that Ezekiel's vision type state.
That's how the prophets were revealed the Quran and things like. That's how they got.
Okay. All I have to say, guys, is snake oil.
The message of God was fasting. And
you guys have been in this state before. If you guys play football, soccer, in your most exhausted moment when you start just flowing. Yeah. You know, in sports, when you start flowing, that is that state. So that flow state is super important. Now, if you don't believe me, watch me go on Fresh and Fit, let's say tomorrow. And you're going to be like, what happened to Zherka? Because now that I make money, I don't really take the preparation that serious. Back then, it was like, bro, I need money to live out here. You know, it was very different. So I would take it very serious. And you can do that with anything. You can do that with sports. You can do that with anything. But
Christian 33 says, Jesus walked a lot. Yes, Jesus walks. Jesus walks.
I don't think does the boxing thing, but I still think should have that MrBeast walk. It's a genius.
Yeah, I'm going to do it tomorrow morning. I'm going to do that tomorrow morning. Because boxing, like when I get to that exhaustion point.
But you know, it has to be a flat mind. It can't be you you getting anxious. I got to stream later. It has to be like the walk. You have to
meditative.
You have to go into it's a Western meditation practice, so it's imaginative. Meditative is blank. Imaginative is colorful, like with imagination, which Sneeko couldn't meditate. He's too Western minded.
Well, that's not true, right? But I personally, you know, when I'm jogging or whatever, I kind of just let my mind wander like I'm dreaming, but that's daydreaming. That's not what's being described here, right? Anyway.
Jung said people like us, Westerners, go. If they try meditation, they go crazy. We need to use imagination because we're Westerners. Meditation is a Chinese practice or an Asian practice.
You're right. I don't think I can pray, but I can't meditate.
Yeah, but again, that go phase is Western, and that meditative unconscious phase is the Eastern. This is that double-headed ego and masonry. Now check this out. There's no shot Sneeko will do that walk tomorrow without thinking, I gotta finish. I gotta do this. Which he's not gonna be good
because I have expectations.
Now, when MrBeast does the walk, this is the first thing he tells himself. I can make a YouTube video whenever. I could go for a 1-month walk. I'm not in a deadline. That's why MrBeast can literally go to the next level.
I work better under pressure when I have a lot to.
But you can't imagine under pressure. No human can imagine under pressure. Everything's blank. Right?
That's right. That's actually why writers get writer's block, because in 2024, writing is not a career that pays money, right? Like, unless you write a very famous book, right? But the problem is that once you get that fame, and you've signed a book deal with some major company, right? They expect you to produce on a deadline. And expecting a person to be creative on a deadline is fundamentally contrary to creativity. If you have a deadline, you feel forced. If you feel forced, you're not going to have your genuine ideas. Everything is going to be out of desperation. And good things don't come out of desperation. We know this fundamentally.
Right? Duck. Imagine something else. Duck. Yeah. And look how the brain works. Don't think of duck. Don't think of duck. It's still a duck. That's what I'm saying. You're under pressure.
Wait, but why is this? When I came up with my best ever series idea, the Woman Podcast, I was like, I need to do something. I'm not making money. I need to figure out a series. And I was in this apartment in Queens, and I took an Adderall, and I was smoking a lot of weed, and I had a blank notebook, and 3 hours alone. And then eventually I came up with the idea of the Woman Podcast. I was like, I need to come up with an idea. Empty journal.
Explain the science, though. Where did the idea hit you? What were you doing?
In some random apartment in Queens.
No. Not where. Like that 48 hours, what was your system?
Before that, I was kind of depressed, and I was like anxious, and I was like, fuck.
What, so it was out of pressure? You cried out of pressure?
Yeah, I was under pressure. And then I took Adderall and weed, and then I was like...
But you see, that is building a system where you can only win when you're at rock bottom. That's a dangerous system to build, right? If you want to understand how the brain works, every day promise says, if this is going to scare you, and this is what my clients who hire me one-on-one, what I teach them, and I'll give it to you for the God podcast because it's spooky. It's going to scare you.
Save it.
No, fuck it. I love you guys. Check this out because this is going to be big. For my clients who want to know how the mind works, and it's very scary when you figure this out, I will have, let's say my client, right? He pays me money and I break down how to always linger in a state, right? Because you want to anchor yourself in a feeling. Whatever the anchor is, it could be a symbol, a cross, it could be a song, it could be whatever. But check this out. If someone came up to me, chat, look at this. I would say, we're going to do a 7-day spiritual cycle of you are not allowed to climb ladders. You are not allowed to climb a ladder no matter what happens this month. Every night before you go to bed, you're going to do a meditative practice for me. For 20 minutes, as you're calming down, entering theta state, say to yourself, I will not climb a ladder. I will not climb a ladder. And whatever you imagine, who cares? Just keep saying, I will not climb a ladder. Every one of my students who does this will find themselves randomly climbing a ladder. And they'll be like, what the fuck? And I took that from Goddard. And bro, I'm telling you, that's how the brain works. You say, I'm not going to climb a ladder. I'm not going to climb a ladder. What do you think you're imagining? What do you think is coming that week, that month? Yeah,
your brain is more focused on the thing that you're saying not. So what is the takeaway here? I'm not going to make money. I'm not going to finish my side project. And so on.
Brain doesn't work on, I will do this, I won't. It works on imagination. I will not climb a ladder. I will not. It's very, now, we don't use the ladder example because obviously that's like rare. We'll use an example like, I will not wear a red shirt. And he'll promise me. And every night he'll focus, I will not wear a red shirt. But as he's saying that, he's imagining himself wearing a red shirt, which means within the week he's watering that seed and he will randomly put it on. And it's not like you put it on to notice. He'll do stuff. He'll literally grab cups. He'll make something in the kitchen, and then he'll look in the mirror and go, oh, I fucked up, Zherka. And I'll be like, that's exactly how the brain works. That you don't understand how the unconscious works, bro. This is a mirror. It's a mirror. So, yeah.
Honestly, all it sounds like to me is repetition, right? And it's funny. It's reverse psychology, right? Because men, they work in opposition, right? Men need an enemy to conquer. So when you say I will not win, well, you're programming yourself to win. That's pretty funny. Because your brain doesn't hear not. It just hears the thing. Interesting.
You're watching the God Pill podcast.
There we go. You're watching the God Pill podcast. Clippers, this was really good for today. I'm going to send some stuff and make sure Bronson's watching right now. This is the best episode so far.
Now, hold on, chat.
Here we go.
Again, we're going to always repeat this. Let's say you want a girlfriend. You have a girlfriend. Start talking to her. Right. Even if she doesn't exist, start joking with her in your head. And you're going to freak out how fast it happens. Like, all I had was visions of a random, all I want to do is a Dragon Ball stream with a girl. I don't know why that kept coming up to me. And then I was doing it with that Riot girl in that house. And I was like, damn, even the ones that I don't train for happen. But now, if you have negative thoughts, I've got news for you. That is the most demonic shit you've ever heard. If you have a depressed, demonic mind where it gets sad, guess what?
Yeah. That's right. Actually, that's a real thing. That's negative self-talk, right? Is the worst thing you can do. So the best advice I could give anybody is never ever, because here's the thing, a lot of people, they talk to random people positively and they talk to themselves negatively. You need to start doing the reverse. I mean, you can talk to random people nicely too, but never talk better to random people than you talk to yourself. You are yourself, your own best friend. You need to talk to yourself at a higher standard than other people, even higher than that. So if you're, polite to random people, you should be even more polite to yourself. Because why are you not worthy of that same politeness? You are, right? But that negative talk destroys you. You need positive self-talk. And not just that, when you make a mistake, you can just talk to yourself and be like, oh, it's all right. That could happen to anyone. It happened to me this time, and just continue on. Or you can laugh at the situation. I see, it was my turn to get smacked in the face today. All right, Or you could practice always seeing the silver lining in things, right? No matter what happens, you look and you see the positive side of whatever it is that happens. That's called being an optimist. And actually, being an optimist is a very good long-term strategy, because it helps you to react to even the worst things in a positive way. Also, stoicism is a good practice as well, which is you imagine the worst possible thing happening, and you imagine your reaction to it. So you imagine the worst thing so that when it happens, you're not ambushed by it. You've already imagined it, right? Yeah, let's continue.
Guess what your week's going to look like. Guaranteed everything that you feel, all that misery, I have news for you, bro. You're going to have another month of it. That's how scary getting out of a state is, right? That's why if I find myself in a laughing state, I drag it on longer, right? So just stay in winning states or neutral. Don't be like who's always in a winning state. That's how you burn out, right? The neutral is fine. You can have neutral days where you're not winning. You can't have loser state. Neutral or winning. That's all my clients do. Right?
I don't have any. I have some neutral days when I travel. Things like that. I take time off.
I don't think you have neutral days because you get anxious and hop on a flight immediately.
Yeah.
That means you don't have neutral days.
Yeah, I'm always flying somewhere.
Yeah.
Let's make a God Pill Mastermind and Telegram. Yeah, we're gonna do all that, man. We'll make a Telegram channel. Have a group chat for all the guys that are in here.
How do you get out of that negative inner state? It's super simple. You're in a depressed negative state. Imagine yourself winning and having everything you have. You don't need anything. You already have it. That fulfills the desire. You find it calm and linger in it. That's why when I go on those ritualistic walks, I walk like a millionaire because I go, there's no way I'm making 80 bands just this month and never the rest of the year. It's not-
Right. Yeah. The truth is that, you know what that is? There's actually an expression for this. It's called dress for the job you want, right? Yeah. You imagine all the great things that you have. And also, if you want to feel happy or content, when you're on these walks or when you're in this liminal state, just remind yourself of all of the positive things that you have. Because a lot of people, they focus on what they don't have. And they just focus on what they don't have every second. And it depresses them. Well, why don't you focus on what you have? Focusing on what you have is huge. Because you have a lot. You're just not thinking about it. You're focusing on what you don't. So, there you go.
It's not lowering. I'm making 80 bands every month on my neutral, and it only goes up. When I walk, I live it. I tell the world, you get it? I can. Here's chat. This is what's going to terrify you. Even when you're conscious, you're unconsciously moving. Once you understand that, you'll realize how much of your life you've wasted. Right? That's why before I came to here, I did an hour and a half. He said I was low energy last time. I was like, I'm going to bring it. Did an hour and a half walk, which is very small for me. Like, it was bad. I should have gave a 3-hour walk because that really brings the best out of me, like fresh fit. But, whatever.
We were holding 9K viewers for most of the stream.
Yeah. And now, chat, want to hear something crazy? If Sneeko said have a flawless day where we peak, this is going to be our only golden moment, opus magnum, whatever, opus magnus stream, whatever it's called. If he said that to me, I would do an 8-hour walk and visualize the whole stream. Even if the whole visualization's wrong, I would linger in the feeling of not laughing, making a shit ton of views, right? Now, if Sneeko said there's a gun to our head, we have to crack 10K no matter what, I'll do a 12-hour walk. That's how much emotion I'll put into it. And everyone's like, doesn't that waste your energy for the stream? Only if you have food. If you're in a fasted state, you can, I swear to God, you can keep going, right? If you know your body, if you're like me, right?
Hey, God, Nary said $5 is worth it. Thank y'all. Hey, that $5 for this information, man, is absolutely nothing, man. So say something.
Yeah, his thing is interesting, right? His idea, he threw in some esoteric garbage, right? That only fools would listen to. But that isn't to say that we throw the baby out with the bathwater, right? There are some useful things that he said. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed this. All right, thank you so much for listening, guys, especially if you listen to the end. I really do appreciate it. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time. Again, let's shout out all of the donators, because we have a lot. I mean, again, if we're talking about what we're thankful for, this is what I'm thankful for, guys. I mean, when I started this channel, I literally was getting 4 views in a month on my videos, right? And I went from that to this in you know, not so long a time. Again, if I can do it, you can do it. But anyway, here are the donators, and then I even have Nick here, who's you know, more than 300 USD spent for coaching. So shout outs to him. And yeah, lots of book purchases. I think I'm gonna change this you know, latest donators and all that. I'll put how much they've spent on books and all that, so you guys can see. Most of these donations are, you know, 10 USD or 20. 10 is what it costs for one book, $9.99, whatever. So most of these people here that you see are either donators on Patreon or their book purchases. So again, thank you so much, guys. So Hunter M, Adrian R, Tom and Bobby, Dylan, Renaissance Press, Brian, Andrew, Alan, Armani, and Nicholas. So Nicholas bought both books, The Strategist's Guide to Seduction and Quotes to Live By. Again, you know Nicholas, he's the top contributor to the stream, to the YouTube so far. From his coaching. Again, guys, if you want coaching, just message me at theheliosblog@gmail.com. Nicholas has seen very good results. If you guys are struggling with, you know, getting into a relationship, or, you know, you want to know how to deal with this new girl that you're seeing or whatever, that's literally, that's what I specialize in. So just message me. That's my email though, theheliosblog@gmail.com. All right. I do have early access content on my Patreon. It's patreon.com/theheliosblog. You can buy my books at bit.ly/heliosbooks. Thank you so much for listening, guys, especially if you listen to the end. I really do appreciate it. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time.